sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers, public servants, youth, the ordinary Dominican. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight will also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday night from 8 p.m.
One-on-one with interesting personalities, educational and informative topics and issues, intriguing and entertaining. A must listen to In the Spotlight, Monday nights from 8 p.m. on Q95.
Minutes, moving down past the 8 o'clock hour.
Somebody else can put a link for this show.
Okay, we're here. We're just ensuring. I got a couple of messages. You've not shared the link. So I had to ensure that I shared the link via my WhatsApp broadcast lists, and also to have it on the In the Spotlight radio show group, the group by the In the Spotlight radio show, and on the In the Spotlight radio show page. You can go to either one of these platforms to view tonight's program. And of course, we welcome those of you who are listening via Q95 FM radio on the frequency of 95.1 FM. If you're using any other streaming platform tonight, we're happy to have you. Good night and welcome everyone. We had 2 breaks. We've not been live for the last 2 weeks. I think the last week was a holiday. Last week Monday was a holiday, And the Monday before that, I couldn't be here. I just couldn't be here. And so we missed, that was our first miss for the year, which means we're doing very, very well so far for the year with our programs. You know, very few repeats. You know, we repeat only because, you know, it was in fact a holiday and because I couldn't be there for that one particular Monday. So welcome everyone to our program for tonight, wherever you are. Let me acknowledge Q95 FM Radio. Q95, thank you for giving me this platform on a Monday night to be here to host this program. We thank Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited. Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, they are the agents for Twapito Water. So we have our water for tonight. And they're also the agents for Barefoot Wine. So this wine right here from Josephine Gabriel and Company, I don't know if he drinks wine. If he does, then voila, all good. If he doesn't, then he'll give it to someone. But definitely we thank Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited for the wine. We also acknowledge Jordan Jerome, Jordan GK, thank you for your support. Always willing and able, Akim Lowe, and all of you, the listeners and fans of the program. Our social media platforms include the In the Spotlight Radio Show. We have a group by the In the Spotlight Radio Show. We also are on Instagram. You have my personal Facebook page, Ferdina Frampton, then my public page, Ferdina Frampton, and all the good stuff. So, you know, follow me on all of the platforms or whichever ones you choose to. And we just got our YouTube channel going. It's Ferdina F. Frampton. Please go there and subscribe to my channel. Let me get, I'll be honest, I need to monetize this some way, somehow. So I need to get to 1,000 subscribers and I need 4,000 viewing hours. So you're going to help me make that happen so we can start getting a little something from YouTube. You know, nothing wrong in that. We don't really have a source of income for the program. So if we can get it otherwise, you know, why not? So that is the point that we're at. 8:16 is the time in the studios. Don't forget as well, we have our Cash App. It is Spotlighters, the $ Spotlighters without an R for those of you who wish to support our efforts here with the program. Okay, so we're getting set to go now. We'll just take this one small break and we're coming right back to speak with our guest, to introduce our guest tonight.
In the Spotlight on Q95 FM Radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight, featuring people from all walks of Dominican life, spotlighting their triumphs and tragedies, dreams, hopes, aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of people in politics, religion, sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know farmers, public servants, youth, and the ordinary Dominican. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight will also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM Radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight.
In the Spotlight on Q95 FM Radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight, featuring people from all walks of Dominican life, spotlighting their triumphs and tragedies, dreams, hopes, and aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of our people in politics, religion, sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers, public servants, youth, the ordinary Dominican. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight, we'll also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM Radio every Monday night from 8 p.m.
19 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. All the ads and the mentions and everything else out of the way. And we are ready to go for tonight's In the Spotlight radio show. Now, just about a week and a half ago, or just about 2 weeks ago, Nurses' Day was actually being observed, and I thought to myself, I need to get a nurse on the next Monday for the In the Spotlight radio show. Now, I didn't know before that there was a Nurses' Day coming up for whatever reason. I wasn't aware. I'm normally aware of these things, but I wasn't aware that there was a Nurses' Day coming up, whereas I would have done it the Monday before. And so I touched base with Mignon, and I said, Mignon, who has actually been on this show, and I said to her, I need your assistance. Well, she missed my message earlier on because she was out. And she finally got the message, and she said, yes, I will assist you in getting someone for the program. And then she came back, and then she said, Nurse Collins Lloyd. I said, okay. I said, that's a guy. And she said, yes. And I was excited. She can tell you, I sent her a message and I said, that's amazing. I'm really, really happy that you're deciding to give me a male nurse for the program. Now, I know that there is not many of those in Dominica. I don't have actual numbers of how many. Probably you know. I'm Nurse Lloyd. Do I call you Nurse Lloyd or Collins? Which one are you more comfortable with?
Nurse Lloyd is okay.
Nurse Lloyd is okay. Wonderful. So I don't know how many are actually, but I know of Observer. I did not know Nurse Lloyd. When I met him, I said, but I know you. I didn't know who he was initially. He said, but I know you. So, I'm really, really, truly happy to have Nurse Lloyd on the program tonight. You could say probably to some extent because he is one of the few in Dominica, and so you want to get that perspective from that side of the genders. You really want to know how does it really, is it different? How different is it and all of that good stuff? So we want to say good night to you, Nurse Lloyd, and thank you in advance for being here with us tonight.
Good night, Ferdina. It's my pleasure to be here. Yeah.
It is the first time for you. You're saying that you're doing this. So we're going to be very patient with you. And we're going to be very nice to you because it is not the easiest of things, I like to be on this side of the mic. And only in recent time that I started being on the other side of the mic and actually allowing people to interview me. So I know, especially if you're doing it for the first time, it might be a little, nervy for you. But I want to tell you, and I've told you so before, that you have nothing to be nervous about. We're just going to have a conversation and you're just going to talk about what you already know. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. Fair enough. Now you need to speak into the mic for us, okay? Make sure that you're close enough to the mic for us. So, we know that you are Nurse Lloyd, but reintroduce yourself to us.
Okay, well, I'm Nurse Lloyd, and I would say I'm from Wolf Rose and Portsmouth. My roots are from Portsmouth on my mother's side. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time growing up in Portsmouth. Yeah, a little sooner.
And if somebody were to describe you, what do you think they would? How do you think they would describe you? For those of us who don't know.
As a cool cucumber.
A cool cucumber.
Yeah,
so you're just an easygoing guy. You don't let much bother you. You just chill.
Yeah.
You just chill. That's important. Okay, so you grew up in both Portsmouth and Roseau. Tell me about the area that you spend most of your time. Is it in Portsmouth or is it in Roseau?
Well, Roseau. It's just that every summer, every vacation, I would go to Portsmouth, Yeah.
What part of Roseau?
Roseau, Pottersville, and then after we moved to Kinfield.
Okay.
So I spent the latter years of my life at Kinfield, and the earlier portion of my life at Portsmouth.
Earlier portion at Portsmouth. How much do you remember
Of
the earlier part of your life in Portsmouth?
like it's yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about that.
Okay, well I was up with my grandmother
What's her name?
in Portsmouth. I'm a Petra Baron.
Ma Petra
Yeah.
Baron.
So every summer I would go to Portsmouth, then she would take me with her. She was a huckster. So she would take me to different islands of the Caribbean. You know, St. Martin. To me, every island of the Caribbean I've been with my grandmother.
Your grandmother would take you?
Yeah.
At what age? How
From
old?
a young age, from 10, 11, 12.
You huckstering with your
Yeah.
grandmother?
Yeah.
How was that kind of experience like?
I used to enjoy it. I used to look forward for it. Yeah, I used to look forward.
Which of the islands do you remember the most?
Well, St. Martin.
St.
We
Martin.
used to go to St. Martin more often.
You used to go St. Martin more often.
Yeah.
What you liked about going to St. Martin?
At least selling part of it, you know, selling to the people of St. Martin.
Well,
The produce, huh?
wouldn't you go do some shopping
Well,
at
after,
times?
well, that's what you meant, yeah. Well, before we come down, the shopping part of it, yeah, it was nice.
Tell me about your granny.
My granny is 90 years right now.
She's alive.
She's alive, yeah.
Is she listening? Do you
I
know if
wonder.
she's
I
listening?
wonder.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 90 years. But she no longer do huckstering. She no longer has a shop. She used to have a shop. She no longer has the shop. But she still peels her castor oil seeds. And people buy it still. She still works the business. Yeah.
So the business is still in her even at that age.
True, yeah.
She still can fend for herself and take care of herself.
Good.
Granny's 90. What do you think has kept Granny alive and well up to this point?
I think it's the movements of going to St. Martin, the huckstering part of her life. The hot sun, on the boats. Yeah.
So you think it's the hard work?
Yeah, man, that's right.
It's the hard work that has her
Yeah, definitely.
still agile
Definitely.
even at that age.
Definitely.
So you grew up with your granny. Do you mind telling us about your parents? Your actual
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with my parents, you know.
Mhm.
Just that, no, as I said, on vacation.
Oh, so your parents were is who you were with in Roseau?
Right.
Okay, so tell me about your...
My parents. My father was a police.
Mm.
He's dead right now.
Okay, he passed on.
And then when my mother was awarded, she worked at the hospital. Yeah.
Is she alive?
Yeah, she is.
She's alive
Yeah.
still. Okay. Do you know if she's listening?
Yeah, she is, because on my way, she asked me what station, so.
Okay,
she's listening.
so she's still... You will say hi to your mom.
Hello, mother.
What is mother's name?
Lloyd.
Evelyn Lloyd. Okay. All right. Let us talk a bit about and your family are from Portsmouth, you said, but you moved to Roseau.
Yeah.
You moved to Roseau.
My family on my mother's side.
Family on your mom's
My
side.
family on my father's side is from Colin.
Okay. Do you visit?
Not often, but yeah.
Once in a while.
Once in a while.
You drop by and say hello.
Yeah.
Well, you're a nurse, so we'll talk about those hours and you know how that even affects your own life. In terms of other family, direct family, are you married? Do you have children?
Well, divorced and with children.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, that's fine. How many kids do you have?
How many kids do I have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have 4.
He knew up front I was going to ask him all of that, eh, folks?
Yeah. 4 biological children and I raised 3. So you can say I have a total of 7 children.
7 children. Okay, I like the part about raising 3. You know, even if they were not yours, that you also raised 3 children. So in all you have 7 children.
Yep.
And how are they all?
They're good.
They're all good.
Grown up.
They're all grown up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the smaller ones are small, but the bigger ones are grown up. Yeah.
Okay. Let us talk about some of the things that you enjoy doing. What are some of your pleasures?
Besides nursing.
Besides. Okay, besides nursing.
I like farming. I like the agriculture.
You do a bit of farming?
Yeah.
What type of farming?
It's vegetables, lettuce. Yeah. Not on dashing on yam and things.
Right.
Only, you call it the fast crop.
For home use or do
Home
you?
use, yeah. But the same nursing have me occupied so much that I hardly, but it's something I love to do.
Something you love to do. Okay, so you've not been able to do much of it.
Yeah, for the past time. Grass taking even the blows now.
Oh, and is that in Portsmouth?
No, that's up Penrise.
Okay, so outside of farming, what else do you enjoy doing?
If to any farming, I could probably mention to beekeeping. I'm a beekeeper too. Yeah, and what else?
Let us talk about the beekeeping a little bit. So, is that something that you're actively doing? Or?
Same thing again at yeah.
How does it work? How does beekeeping work? What does it entail?
Okay, for the bees, okay, the bees does everything. The bees does everything.
Where do they come from? Do you have to go looking for them? How does it work?
You could buy, okay, there are beekeepers that sell, what do you call them, nukes. So you could start off by purchasing some bees from a beekeeper. Yeah.
And what do you do with the bees? What happens?
Well, you start off.
Uh-huh.
Do
you have to keep them in an enclosed area? How does it work?
In a box. There's a box. You put them in.
Okay.
So they do everything. So you just ensure that you care for them. You know, prevent them from disease taking over. Just care for them, and they do the rest.
They do the rest.
Yeah.
They make the honey.
They make the honey.
And how do you get the honey?
Well, you remove the tray, and you put it in a, what do you call it? For it too. But it beats the.
That's alright, that's alright, that's alright.
Yeah, and then it strains out the honey.
And you get your honey.
You get your honey.
And you do what you want.
Yeah,
you sell, you do. So again, that is one of the things that you enjoy doing that you've not been able to do much of for a little while. Do you miss being able to do those things?
Yeah. Well, not farming. Soon I'll leave our country.
Is that so?
Yeah, man.
Really? If you've not been able to do it in a long time, you're saying soon you'll be back on track. I want to know what is going to change that you'll be back on track.
Well, the fact that it's on my mind, I'll do it now.
Okay. Because you have a couple days off, although I suspect when you get the days off, it's really to do things that, you know,
you want to do.
You need to get done. Okay. Do you play any sports? Is there?
Well, not now, but all my life I play sports.
All your life?
Yeah, football and basketball. I play a lot of football, a lot of basketball in my life.
For school?
School, after school, just playing.
So you're a sportsman?
Yeah.
Basketball?
Football. I wasn't really into the cricket.
Why?
I prefer bat and not like bat. That's it.
Aha, you don't want to field. Okay. Now, I couldn't help, obviously I cannot help notice that you're a Rasta or you wear locks. Are you a Rasta or you just wear locks? Both. Okay. Alright. A little bit of both. Okay, and do you always have it covered?
When I home, I free too.
Oh, when you home, you freed up. You could have freed up first tonight. You could.
Yeah, I could have, yeah.
We wouldn't have mind at all.
But especially at work, I kind of keep it up at work.
Okay.
It's long and then you don't want blood getting onto it and so on.
Okay. Alright, I understand. You have to make sure that it's protected as well. Alright.
It's one of the policy of the hospital. You keep your hair up. Even if you see the ladies with their hair on the shoulder, you're supposed to have it up.
Oh.
Yep.
So every day you go to work, it's in a turban or something like that. Every single day.
Yep.
Okay, all right. 8:34 is the time in the studios of Q95. We're just doing the breaking of the ice and getting to know our guest, Nurse Lloyd, a little intimately a bit, you know, as we go along with the program. Now we're going to talk to him about his education. We didn't talk about what it was like in Roseau growing up and in the Kingfield area as well. You know, what was that like? How different was it from when you went down to your days, on your days that you went to Portsmouth?
Yeah, different in the sense that Portsmouth, You know, you were like picking mangoes, baby in the sea, fat pork, in the bush.
What is fat pork?
Oh, it's a fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fruit.
I think I'll get about
And
that
my
already.
post-mod secondary school has a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rosa was kind of different. Rosa was more on the street. Yeah. Different.
Mhm.
Yeah. Different.
Different vibes.
Yeah. Different
mostly.
vibes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Friends?
Friends.
You had lots of friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friends. A lot
Mhm.
of friends.
Were you a good boy growing up?
Yeah, I was.
You behaved?
Yeah, well.
Didn't get in trouble? A little?
Little trouble.
Little trouble. Little trouble here and there.
Yeah, and there.
But nothing major. You're a good boy.
Good boy.
Okay. So as we're talking about, being a good boy and growing up in Roseau and even in Portsmouth, where did your education begin?
Rosa.
Roseau.
Parish Hall Preschool.
Parish or preschool? And not many people remember the preschool days, so I'm not even going to ask
I
you. to
remember my friends in preschool.
You remember your friends in preschool, but not much of your preschool days.
Like they like no.
No, like
Preschool,
remembering
no,
things.
no.
That
I
would be a
remember
little far.
the teachers and some of my friends.
Do you remember the teachers?
Yeah.
Oh, your preschool teachers?
Teacher, yeah, man.
Okay, sometimes I'm so ashamed I don't remember those things at all. So you remember your preschool teachers?
Yeah.
Alright, let us move to primary school.
I went to 3 primary schools.
3 of them.
7-day school before the bridge, in Roseau. Then to the Portsmouth Government School, and then back to Roseau Boys School.
So the 7th day, was it that your family was 7th day? That's why you went to that school?
No, I think probably I was living next to 7-day school. Look, out in the 7-day school right there. So I guess it was very close.
Somebody worked out something and you went to But it's not that you were 7th day Adventist. Do you have a religion? Particularly?
Love.
Love, that's your religion. Love is your religion. Most times, we get that from the Rasta brethren. Love is their religion.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with love, man.
Yes.
When you say carefully, then you're separating yourself from, it's like, I am this.
Mm-hmm.
But love conquers all,
Mm-hmm. And you're talking about, just having, a natural love for people and life and livelihood and all of that. Okay, and I guess that is what, when we get to the part where we're going to start talking about your career as a nurse, I guess that will come into play here, because for you to be a nurse or for you to follow that particular career, you must have that type of love in your heart to be able to care for others.
Sure.
But we will get to that. So you went to 7th day primary, and then
Portsmouth Government.
so you went back to Portsmouth to go to school at one point?
Yeah.
So your parents sent you to your granny, or your parents moved back to Portsmouth?
You moved back to Portsmouth.
Okay, so you had to go with the flow,
Yeah.
and you went to Portsmouth,
Portsmouth.
and then they came back to Roseau.
And then I went to Roseau Boys School.
Okay.
That used to be opposite the ministry.
What was it like changing schools?
Different every time. Yeah, you have to enter new school, new people, new students. Every time was like a different start off. Yeah.
And you have to make new friends again
That kind of thing.
in most instances. But you enjoyed it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last school you would have gone to when you sat common entrance
Roseau Boys.
was Roseau Boys School. In terms of getting to that school, do you remember at what stage, what grade were you when you got to
Grade 4.
grade 4? Also, you had a way to go before you actually sat the common
Common entrance,
entrance.
yeah.
Okay. So you prepared for common entrance, and do you remember what it was like going to sit the exam? That I remember for me.
That's, yeah.
Were you prepared? Were you
I
excited?
don't think so. No, I don't think I know how to study nothing. I just go and do a test.
That's all you know?
Yeah, I remember how to study nothing. Went and do the test, passed it, and
Okay.
went to grammar school.
And you went to Dominica Grammar School. Keep it locked, we're coming right back. We're in with the nurse Lloyd on the In the Spotlight radio show. When we come back, We're going to talk a bit about the Dominica Grammar School, which is where he remembers me from. I slightly remember him from there, but I suspect we may not have been in the same year.
No.
You would have been earlier, after me.
Yeah.
You came sometime after me. Keep it locked. We're coming right back. This is the In the Spotlight Radio Show. More to come with this Lloyd.
In the Spotlight on Q95 FM Radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight, featuring people from all walks of Dominican life, spotlighting their triumphs and tragedies, dreams, hopes, aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of our people in politics, religion, sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers, our public servants, youth, and the ordinary Dominican. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight will also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM Radio every Monday nights from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight.
In the spotlight.
And so Nurse Lloyd spoke about love. When I asked him about religion, he said love is his religion. And so he's also a big fan of Bob Marley, so we just give him a little bit of that one there. One love from Bob Marley for Nurse Lloyd and those of you who love it as well. So before we went to the break, we were speaking about getting to the Dominica Grammar School. So you got into the Dominica Grammar School, and tell us about your time spent at the Dominica Grammar School, and was that your preference? Did you want to go to grammar school?
Yes, I wanted to grammar school.
Because I wanted to go to another school.
Serious?
Yes, but my father had gone to grammar school. A couple of my brothers after that had gone to grammar school. My stepbrothers and stepsisters were at grammar school, so I had to go to grammar school.
But that is why I wanted to go. Because my uncle went, family members went, so I wanted to go.
I probably would have wanted to go somewhere else, but I won't say. What was it like?
It was good. My grammar school, it was nice. It was nice. But I did accounting grammar school.
You did accounts.
Business subjects.
You did business subjects. Did you at that point, did you know that you were going to head to that field?
Never envisioned nursing. I never thought of doing nurse. Nursing wasn't an option at all.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that afterwards. Nursing was not an option. So, what house did you belong to in grammar school?
Huh?
Or your house?
BJ.
Oh!
BJ.
BJ was weak. At least the time that I was there, BJ was weak. And
I was there too.
I always say that on the program. Anytime there's somebody from grammar school on the show, I always mention about the house. BJ was a weak house.
At the time it was Jupini was.
Jupini was dominating. Jupini was always a good house.
BJ and Skinner was always at the back.
BJ and Skinner. Toujours there. Well, sadly, maybe you contributed to BJ in some way or the other. I don't think I contributed at all.
You was BJ?
I was BJ. That's what I'm telling you. I was BJ too. I was BJ. I think my father may have been something else, and along the way we ended up somewhere. We ended up in BJ. So so yes. But your grammar school days, I thought that grammar school was a good school. The fact that it was co-ed, so we had boys and we had girls, you know, I think that's a nicer balance than just having all boys and all girls in school. So you did accounts, you did business subjects. What else? What else did you do at grammar school in terms of extracurricular activities and contributing to the school in whatever way?
And I would say an athlete.
You're an athlete.
Yeah, I used to run for BJ, BJ. Cross country.
I did cross country once.
I did every year. Until before for my stuff. My stuff for my stuff.
Why?
I guess I was playing big man. I did man.
That's not for you. Again. Alright. So yeah, so you did the sports thing, but you enjoy. How would you summarize your years at grammar school?
My years in grammar school was summarized. It was good. I saw different principles.
Yes.
Yeah, different principles.
On my fourth year, going into fifth year, Mr. Wilson came. Yes.
He came when I was in fifth form.
He came. Also, you were 2 years behind me then. Yes, 2 years behind. I remember you. You know, I remember you. The more I talk to you on the program, is the more I remember that I remember you.
Mignon was in my class.
Mignon was in your class. Oh, okay. All right. So from grammar school, what was the decision?
Okay.
Mhm.
Well.
So you school, you get to your 5 years, you sit your exams, you do your thing. What happened after that?
I wanted to just work. I wasn't thinking of college, nothing. I just wanted to just go and work.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied everywhere.
You wanted to make your own money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied everywhere. All business places, all companies that have in Dominica. And the answer was, I'll put you on file.
Yeah.
Put you on file.
That was the popular phrase.
Yeah. So the only place that accepted me was Brizimat.
Okay.
Yeah. So I worked by Brizimat for about 6 months.
6 months at Brizimat. What were you doing there?
I was like a porter.
Like a porter.
In the
Okay.
produce section.
Okay. All right.
Everybody was like,
You
went to school and then, but I didn't worry about it.
you wanted to work.
Yeah.
You wanted some money in your pocket. Yes.
Yeah, so after that, I left. After 6 months, I left and went to the States.
Oh.
Yeah, I spent a few months up there too. Things was okay now. Things wasn't going as I wanted to go.
Well, the grass is not always greener
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
other
yeah,
side,
yeah.
on the US side in
So I
particular.
stayed home. I had to come back.
So how long you stayed?
A lot too. 11 months.
You stayed 11 months. No employment at
No
that
employment,
time?
nothing, no
You
employment.
tried.
From house, family to family. Family to family.
You move in.
Yeah.
Most uncomfortable thing. Because you feel like you're inconveniencing people and you do not want to put people under,
Yeah.
having to take care of you and provide for you. But did you try to get work? Or?
Yeah, I got try and I get little work, but the work I was getting is you go with that friend, they pay him and they pay you. I did not do that.
Under the table kind
Yeah,
of vibe.
yeah.
Because you were not documented.
I was documented, and the only way to make it work, I would have to go to school at that time. Go school, but at the time,
Did you try?
trying to go school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the support wasn't there, not really for me on my side.
I know about that.
Yeah.
Getting ready, having to go overseas, you need to get, if you're going to get a student loan, you need to have somebody to pay the interest while you're gone. You need to make sure that you can fend for yourself, for your housing. It's a challenge. Some people have done it and it has been a struggle
Yeah, but
and a difficult time for them.
Yeah.
Some have been able to do
I
it.
met some, when I hear the stories, I said, well, my woman, yeah, they go through it, they make it, but they go through hell, sleeping on the step, all kind of thing.
Mhm. So that was not for you.
Yeah, I see that, I'm going for that.
You're not
I
going for
rather come home and work.
Take your grinds at
Yeah.
home. Okay.
So when I came back, same thing, I applied again, same thing on file,
Frustration.
Brizimat accept me again.
Again.
Yeah, open arms.
Oh.
So I went back by Brizimat.
You must have been a good worker.
I went back Brizimat, and then I spent 6 months there again too. And then finally, I got a response from Ministry of Health to hold on for somebody that's going on vacation for 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, I never left hospital after that.
So what did you go to? What did you go to hospital to do?
Accounts. I went to work in the accounts department.
Mm-hmm.
So every time somebody go and leave, I
They
would
call
come.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until I reached a point where I wasn't going home.
Mm-hmm.
I was just, I guess they find I was working so well, my supervisor arranged that she do her works where I stayed there
Okay.
for about 2 years.
She make things happen.
She
for
made
you.
things happen. Yeah.
Yes.
She made things happen. I stayed there 2 years, and then it came to the point where I finally had to, my services were no longer needed.
Oh my, so this person would have gone on leave, you would have come, or whatever the case might be, and eventually you were told.
Services no longer needed, but before I go, they would like me to go to extra department to work for a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So while I'm there now, I'm hearing on the radio that male nurses needed in mental health. 24 years, you need to be 24 years with 4 subjects.
Minimum.
Minimum 4
And
subjects.
you had that?
I had 6.
You had 6. You had 2 extra to throw in.
Yeah. So I applied and I got accepted. So I worked X-ray the Sunday on a 1 to 8 shift, and then the Monday I was in nursing school.
You were in nursing school. You shared with us earlier on that nursing was nowhere in the picture, and so you heard that announcement. So you were in the hospital environment.
Yeah.
So you were seeing nurses and so on. Were you?
I was a ward clerk and a cashier.
A ward clerk and a cashier. What is a ward clerk?
Ward clerk is the people that are responsible for issuing you your bill, your hospital bill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they tell you how much the bill is, how much certain fees are, and so.
Okay. Some of them are in little positions around the hospital.
Yeah, they would work and come on the ward and do their thing.
I see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what I used to give, I don't know what they're doing it right now, but we used to organize the bill and take it to the person, the patient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or if I'm not doing that, I'll be cashing.
Okay. So you were in the hospital setting. So do you think seeing the nurses and the doctors around influenced you in any way?
Yeah, to a little extent. Yeah. It influenced me,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just it.
That was just it.
Yeah.
So you heard the announcement and they were specific about male nurses?
Yeah. They wanted male nurses for psychiatric clinic.
For psychiatric clinic and other
And
places.
it was a nice little package. It was, they give you a stipend while you learn for the 2 years and 3 months. And then when you finish, you become appointed. People stay 3, 6 years, 8 years without being appointed. You know? And this package is telling you, you're going to be appointed as soon as you finish. You're getting a stipend to study, you know. And then remember, I used to end at accounts department. They no longer needed my service. So I was out of a job.
Yes.
And I had to go back and write applications.
Just to be told no again.
You know what I mean?
You couldn't deal with that.
Look at that package, I wait. It's like I'm going for it.
So you think that the package was tailored that way to garner interest from people like yourself?
Yeah.
To come because they wanted the men. They wanted some men in the nursing.
And well, especially for psychiatric unit, I would have to say.
Okay. So you made the decision. Did you have to think a lot about it?
Yes. Because I applied for it and I'm asking myself if I'm making the right decision, because I'm applying to something I know nothing about, no interest in, and I'm wondering if it will work out. But I want a job. Yeah.
At that time, it was all about getting a job for you. Okay. Did you discuss it with anyone to help you? You know, in terms.
Well, yeah, I talked to nurses. Yeah, while working there, I get to know a lot of people, you know? And a lot of encouragement. Everybody was glad for me. Yes, man, Lloyd, do it. Yes.
And Lloyd decided he was
that,
going to do it.
Yeah.
So that was around what time?
You say time, like.
In terms of what month, what period? In terms of from the time that your time ended at the hospital to getting to apply and getting into nursing school.
I think it's somewhere. It falls somewhere in September, because I think we started on September. Yeah.
So you make up your mind. You're going to be a nurse. You getting your stipend. Was the stipend enough to take care of you, to help you? You know.
That's the interesting thing. It was, and now I'm getting a salary. It's not. So I don't. I made it on the little stipend.
You made it.
Yeah, man,
You made it
stipend.
on the
Stipend was $550.
$550. So you're getting paid to go to school. Was it only the male nurses that were getting that special money? Everybody else?
Let me just add to that. They wanted men, but doesn't mean that they were not men. Just 5 hours a job.
5 guys showed up.
And then the majority was women, 15 women, so a total of 20.
Total of 20.
Yeah.
And you're
5.
among 5 guys that decided you're going to be a nurse. So even on the day you walked in for the first time into the
I
classroom,
wasn't sure. I didn't know what I was getting into. Yeah. But I asked myself, but if I finish that, I have a secure job, I appointed, I roll in.
you rolled in.
Yeah.
You didn't think about the
All the things.
yes.
Yeah. The only thing I had a problem with in hospital was this. Well, right now it's no longer so. But when I started off, hospital had a funny scent. It had a funny scent, and I didn't like that scent. Yeah, I didn't like that scent. But interestingly, that scent is no more.
It's no more.
Yeah.
You don't
think that's
you said so were you
it was a hospital scent.
yes. I guess maybe others may not be able to quite get it, but I guess you understand what you mean when you say that is scent.
Yeah.
Like
The hospital
a
scent.
hospital. I don't know what a hospital scent is supposed to smell like, but anyway. So so you decided on you were going to be a nurse, and you stepped into the classroom on day 1, and you sat in the chair, and the process began. Tell us about that day 1.
I remember the one. Well, I just remember that we were just being introduced to the different tutors and different classmates. Yeah. So it was kind of a little exciting to see others interested in the same field and waiting to see what's next. Yeah.
Especially, I guess, seeing that there were 4 other
Yeah,
guys
I was
who decided to do this.
But the other guy, there was another guy, we went grammar school together, and I told him about it. Lester guy, yeah, he was in pharmacy at the same time, same position. He was temporary. So I'm in accounts and he in pharmacy. So when I got the news, I know we're holding on with one job. So I told him about it. Yes, I wanted a job too. So we did it.
So he came on board as well?
Yeah.
Did he finish?
He finished.
You finished?
I finished. He called his brother too. His brother came on board.
So that made up the 5.
And then when I was free, and then 2 more.
So wait. So you always brought in 2 people plus yourself. Well, that was you have to be commended for that. That was thoughtful of you that you actually invited others to come along. But
there are others that didn't come though. There are others that still didn't come.
The others you told about it.
Didn't come. Yeah, they feel it's a female thing.
And let us talk about that a bit, as we continue in here. This is a female-dominated field. You know, you think of nurse, and the first thing that comes to mind is a woman in a white skirt and a white top and white stockings and white shoes and the white cap. Well, they don't wear the cap much anymore. I don't see them much with it anymore, at least in the hospital. I don't know for other places. So this is a female-dominated field. An announcement is out that they're looking for males. You get there. How much of that impacted your decision in terms of what people might think about male nurses?
It didn't really touch me much. It didn't really impact me much. But yeah.
It didn't matter to you?
No. Because I guess probably I knew it had male nurses. Yeah. A few, but I knew. And again too, when I came in, it had a good amount of male nurses.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a good amount. At least 10, 11.
Do you still have those numbers?
No. But when I enter, yeah, we had about that.
When you initially started school, or when you started to work?
When I started school, because the school was on the compound. So when I started at school, we were in liaison with the wards. I saw them. There were a few of them.
So
but in the psychiatric unit.
In the psychiatric unit, mostly?
Mostly were, yeah.
Alright. But were you were encouraged by that?
Yeah.
You were encouraged?
Because that's where I knew I was going, psychiatric unit. And there are male nurses there.
Okay. So that didn't matter much to you.
No.
But did you think that when you were making that decision that someday you would not be at psychiatric unit, and you could possibly be in more of the general.
Yeah. At the time, I never really thought.
You just thought that is where you were going to become a nurse to be.
I trained for that, and that's where I'm gonna be. I guess to the ignorance of what nursing was about too. Yeah.
So Collins of a leader you don't know what it is about. You don't know. All you know is you wanted a job. I admire that. So you started your lessons in school. What did it entail? What did you learn? What did you have to learn? Was it primarily for psychiatric unit, or is it a general course?
It was a year of nursing assistant, learning about assisting the generalist. And then the other year was in mental health. So 1 year nursing assistant, 1 year in mental health.
Okay. And then you said 3 months?
Well, a year and 3 months in the
general
nursing assistant, and then a year in the mental health.
Okay. What did you learn?
A lot. A lot. Different conditions, some psychotic conditions. Yeah. A lot.
I'm trying to take you back. Take you back to school.
a lot, especially mental health and mental illness. Yeah, I went into that zone, and there's a lot of information in it. A lot of information.
And information that you would later put to work.
Yeah.
Tell
to
us
deal with them, to deal with mentally ill. Yeah.
Tell us about the process, though, the process of becoming a nurse. Take us from the beginning to the end. What is involved? So you apply.
Well, it's different now.
You get into school.
It's different now, but.
What was it like in your time?
When I started, I applied to nursing school. So it was like when I entered, I started out at nursing school. Repeat the question.
No, that's all right. I was asking about the process from beginning to end. What is the process?
Yeah, so I was saying,
at least from your experience.
Yeah. When I entered, we were guided, I guess, by the nursing council. So when they accept you, your interview would be you here, and around the table would be nurses. The senior nurses and so, and they will be saying questions at you.
Were you intimidated?
Well, they try to intimidate me.
Yeah, they didn't know you.
And I guess they made me comfortable. They were happy of the fact that I was a male. Yeah, so I think they was ready to accept me. Yeah, so I guess they didn't try to intimidate me too much.
Okay.
They wanted me.
They wanted you in. Yes, good stuff. So it starts with that. So there's the interview process.
Yeah.
And they fire questions at you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I think they tell you they will get back to you. So when they get back to you, I don't know you accept it or not.
How soon after? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. And then the date to start class was the same day I told you, after extra was the first day, and then the program started. Yeah.
You went through your 2
years, 3 months.
2 years, 3 months. Somebody says, tell us some of the a lot, but I'm not going to. Earlier on, when we were speaking, and you said that you learned a lot. Somebody wanted a little bit more of the a lot.
I just meant that I was blank on mental health and mental illness, and then when I entered that zone, I learned a lot.
Well, you learned a lot that would help you execute your job.
True.
And that's what matters to you, right? So yes, and then you graduate.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to sit exams?
Yeah.
You have to sit exams.
Yeah. Sit at the UWE campus.
How many? One exam? How many exams?
I think it was 4 papers.
4 papers.
Yeah. 4 papers.
So what was that? What was that like?
Challenging.
Challenging.
Yeah, challenging.
You have to spend a lot of time studying.
Studying, sleepless nights, study, deadlines to meet. The challenging course. Yeah, the challenging course.
And then you did it. You passed. First time you passed, right? You didn't have to do it again.
No.
All right. And then there was graduation.
Yeah.
And you're getting ready for the journey.
Yes, of mental health nursing.
Mental health nursing. I want to ask though, along the way, within the 2 years and the 3 months, did you at any time say, what the heck have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, I said a lot of times.
A few times.
A few times.
But you're getting your stipend, you want to work,
yeah.
you're getting appointed, so you carrying on.
I was working with, I would say, like a saying. I was telling myself from the beginning, like, though I didn't know what I was getting into, but I told myself something. I start this, and I have to finish it, no matter what. So I was working that. I start, I have to finish. Every time the frustration hit me, I go through the hard times, the struggles, the different things. I just tell myself, I start, I have to finish.
You have to
finish that. Yeah.
And then you had a goal.
Yeah.
You had an objective because you didn't want to be unemployed.
All right.
You didn't want to have to send out more applications. And so you did it.
True.
How did it feel in the end?
Great. Yes, I did it. That was good.
It was
good, man. Felt good. I achieved something in my little life.
You set your mind to it.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. And after that, have you done any further training? We're gonna talk about the day on the jobs, the days on the job and so on. But in terms of your nursing, have you done any more courses? Have you had to do more of that?
Okay. So we are in the mental health nursing. We're in the mental health nursing, right? Right. A lot of things happen from the mental health nursing to becoming an RN. Because there's an RN part of it. Yeah. So a lot of things happen in between. I wanted to leave a certain time.
You wanted to leave?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I leave a certain time. To the point where I went and did another course.
Separated apart from nursing.
Yeah. While I doing nursing.
Okay, let's go through the phase. Let's go through the phases. So you graduate, and how soon after did you begin working?
Right after.
Soon after.
Yeah.
You begin working, and you're supposed to work on the psychiatric ward, and you understood that the ward that you were going to work on was a ward which housed people with mental issues. But did you feel that you were trained properly and ready to face that?
Yes.
You felt so.
Yes.
So you walk into the job. I'm not going to play with your mind and ask you if you remember what day one was like. But you walk into the job at the psychiatric unit and tell me how you felt and how this worked out for you.
If I remember clearly, I think the first day was a little scary. Yeah. Because the ward was kind of dark. The ward wasn't how it is right now. The ward was kind of more old school. Yeah, it was looking like what you see on TV. Kind of scary, dark.
Gloomy,
Yeah.
depressing.
Right. And then the patients, some of them were violent, they were aggressive, you know. Yeah.
So you were a little scared at the beginning.
Yeah.
How soon after did you settle in and say, I can do this?
Not long after, no? When I see the other male nurses doing it, you know, it wasn't long after. Because again, to on-training, we had to go back there, we had to be there. So that would be after the first day, I would have already been there and see what happened already. So the first day wasn't really a first day.
Okay. Did you have to shadow another nurse, or were you already having to just get going from?
No, we had to shadow the senior nurses. And besides, as a level 2 nurse, we under supervision.
Okay.
Yeah, from the RN.
So somebody has to be supervising
Yeah.
while you do what you do. For how long did that last?
You mean
In terms of having to work with supervision, quote unquote.
the course, the position by itself allow you to be on a supervision. It's a
Okay.
level 2.
Okay.
Nursing assistants
Mhm.
are supervised by the registered nurse.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a level 2 nurse under supervision from the registered nurse.
Mm-hmm. At the mental health or the psychiatric unit, as it is referred to, tell us about a couple of your experiences. Of course, you don't have to divulge anybody's name or anything. We're just talking about a couple situations, a couple scenarios that you had to deal with.
The psychotic patient displaying the aggressiveness, see lots of that, to the point where we the nurses cannot deal with it. You have to call SSU.
Really?
Yeah, to come and put things straight.
To help you all to hold down,
Yeah.
or, and you had a few of those experiences.
Yes.
Were you scared of the patients?
No, to me after a while, yeah. And you're not alone, probably if I'm alone, but you're not alone, you have a team. Yeah.
Is it a
I mean, there are one, two patients
Mhm.
that's so aggressive that you have to put yourself in order, you know. But
Was it about understanding the fact that you're dealing with someone with a mental illness that they're not in control of,
yeah.
and so you have to be always prepared for anything?
Anything. You
Anything.
cannot turn your back on them, even if they're talking nice to you, because they can just turn on you like that.
But I'm sure there were also some good things
Yeah. Yes.
that happened at the psychiatric unit.
Yeah. We had good days.
Mhm.
We had good days.
I'm sure you've seen some patients come in and leave much better.
That is the greatest part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the greatest part of it. They become mentally ill, disarrayed, disorganized, and then 3 weeks after, they walk in on a different person, a normal person, and they tell him thank you. Yeah, that's a nice feeling, man. That's a good feeling.
Is there a set time that a patient has to stay on the ward?
Yeah, usually normally they stay like 2 weeks. Yeah, they can stay a little more. Normally by 2 weeks they should be ready.
It should be ready.
Yeah.
And of course,
But if they're not ready, they stay another week or so.
you keep them.
Yeah.
But they go through a process.
Yeah.
What is the typical process a psychotic patient goes
I
through?
lived there like a while ago. Yeah.
That's fine. Just to help us understand
Yeah.
from your point of view.
There are different activities. Okay, on a Monday they have doctors around assessing them to see how they coming along. We have family sessions. Yeah. We have activities for them. Yeah, recreational activities, church activities, all what you will find on the outside, we try and bring it in the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've seen it work.
Yeah.
You've seen it work.
Yeah.
How long did you stay at the psychiatric unit?
8 years.
8 years. Was it during that time that you felt you wanted a change?
Yeah. Within the 8 years.
Within the 8 years.
This one, maybe only my 3rd year or so, 4th year.
You were getting to the point where you were having enough.
Yeah. Well, things were looking up nice, you know. And a group of mental health nurses came on board and they were placed in the communities. And the plan was being executed well. But at the same time,
were you placed in communities too?
no,
you remained at the psychiatric unit.
Yeah, but some others went to the community. And after a while, things started to some internal issues and so,
Okay.
which affected the staff, affected everybody.
Okay, so it wasn't just you.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I suspect you were a very good employee.
Yeah, but it wasn't me. Yeah. So then, and again, and so to the point where it wasn't working out. I find the same patients who come in,
Oh.
how we started off doing it and it was working out, it wasn't working out at a certain point. Things changed a bit.
Okay.
And that kind of frustrated me.
So
I wanted more.
Were you feeling like you were not helping the patients, especially if you were seeing them coming back?
Yeah. I felt like it wasn't working, like something was missing. It wasn't working out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking myself, but what am I doing there? It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to do something else. So I sit down and I think of what else could I be interested in. And the thought of agriculture came up.
Oh.
Yeah. So I went up I applied to do 2 years night duty. And I went up in the college and do agriculture course.
Are you kidding me?
I decided to leave business and go into agriculture.
So you took 2 years now and they facilitated that?
Yes. Well, the first year was facilitated on a trial basis.
Okay.
And then after the first year went well, I don't like to talk about negatives, you know,
It happens.
but negative comes in, right? Yeah. But it happened where the other year was granted to me.
Okay.
After it was denied,
You got it.
I got it.
Did they know what you were up to? Maybe,
No,
maybe not.
probably else, but I want to do something on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went to college and you did an agriculture course for 2 years.
2 years. Complete that associate degree. I came back.
But so you complete your associate's degree in agriculture, and then what?
I was about to leave, go across, but I faced something I didn't want to face.
You faced something you didn't want to face.
What I noticed that would have happened to me, I would have dropped down the salary scale to climb back up on the agriculture side.
Oh.
And
So wait, let me pause a minute. Were you getting a job in agriculture?
most likely I got a job.
Okay.
At the time,
Not yet, you have not applied yet.
no, I didn't apply yet, but I was confident I'll get it.
Okay.
Because the class I was in, every single person got a job.
Oh.
Yeah, and agriculture.
At the time,
Yeah, and
you
a lot
were
of
needed.
Yeah, and a lot of opportunities. I find in agriculture, you could branch out. There's a lot of space in agriculture, I find. Yeah, a lot of areas you could get yourself into. So I was going to get myself into somewhere, you know.
You would have worked out.
Yeah, I did well. Be confident.
But you were appointed.
You're right.
Oh, by the way, did that happen as
As they said it. Appointed, I was stipend. Yeah.
So you got your appointment.
Yeah, one time. As we finished, we were appointed. When people waiting 6 years, 5 years, they were appointed.
Baby, even all now.
Oh,
People
yeah.
waiting.
Yeah. So that worked as well.
Good, but it's good that they kept their word. So then comes agriculture, and you're confident that you would get a job in agriculture, but you did a little research.
Yeah.
And what you found out?
I would have to jump down the salary scale and climb back up to where I was, and then try and pass where I was and go up.
How long would that have taken you?
Maybe 10 years plus, more, yeah, couple years. So I say something, boy, I did already, I appointed already, and he stayed in my industry.
But at least you have your associate's degree in agriculture.
Yeah.
So if push comes to shove, you have a sidekick right there.
Yeah, extension officer one time. Yeah.
So you stayed
I stayed.
at psychiatric unit.
Psychiatric unit. Still unsatisfied after I get the associate.
Don't tell me you went again.
I went again, yeah. I still, well, I did research and I observed environmental health at a higher scale.
Right.
So let me try environmental health. Same thing, I applied to do night duty. Yeah. Right.
And it was granted.
Granted, I started my program.
Environmental health.
Environmental health.
Where?
State college.
State college again.
Again. I did the first term. And then
The mic from you, just a bit. Yes.
yeah. I did the first term. And after the first term, I'm hearing of a program, a selected program to become an RN. So if you're a level 2 nurse and nursing assistant, you get to do that program to become an RN. So I say, when I wait, I say I'm nursing already.
You live environmental health follows.
And I went and do the selected program,
Okay.
which I find made more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that now, you could work anywhere else
Right.
outside of psychiatric unit, which I suspect was starting to take a little toll on you and draining you. You wanted to move.
That's it.
Right. So in doing the registered nurse program now, did you have to go back to nursing school?
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
no stipend this time?
no stipend this time. Well, no stipend this time, but my salary,
Okay.
I did not leave.
Okay.
I work and did the program. Yeah. And that's what we did. The accelerated program course.
Mhm.
The nurses, well, 1 2 people, I think they applied for study leave and so on. The majority we were working and doing the program.
Full shifts?
Full shift, yeah.
Full shifts.
Yeah.
And then you're doing the program.
Yeah, they just arrange it so we get this to do the
Was it tough?
tough, very tough.
Very tough.
Yeah, very tough. Very tough. Very, very tough.
How long was the RN program?
It was about a year and 8 months.
A year and 8
Added
months.
to our nursing assistants amount of years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A year and 8
It
months
was
doing the RN program. But again, you had a plan, I would want to think,
yeah.
when you went to do the RN. What was that program like? What did it involve?
The course itself, the RN course, I was in a class with a lot of grown-ups
Mm-hmm.
because there were a lot of grown-ups that were nursing assistants
Right,
that get the opportunity to do the RN.
right.
So I was in that class.
How was it different from the first program that you did?
More in depth.
When there?
Yeah, more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
The nursing, the mental level was on the surface. The RN is
Did that
6 feet deep.
Did that part also include a section of the psychiatric
Yes, yes.
mental health?
Yes.
Yes, there was a mental health element of that as
Yes,
well.
yes, yes.
Okay, so you did that. Did you have a conversation ahead of time saying, okay, so I'm going to do this program. When I'm done, I do not want to go back to psychiatric unit?
Are you asking if I said that to myself?
Yes. Or no, did you have a conversation ahead of time?
No.
No, you couldn't do that.
No.
No.
Well, I just thought automatically they would have transferred me out of psychiatric unit.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Okay.
RN,
Okay.
it wasn't so.
No, I suspect as much.
It wasn't so.
I suspect as much. So,
That frustrated me. That also frustrated me.
so you finished your program, your RN program, and you psyched up, you ready because you're going to go somewhere else. You graduated, and what happened?
They sent me back to psychiatric unit.
Why?
Well, not send me back now.
You just remained there.
Right.
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Than the status.
Mm-hmm.
So right now,
You are registered.
yes, I'm supervising nursing assistant. I read that position.
Alright, so now you're supervising.
Yeah.
So you back at psychiatric units. What do? Do you go and have a conversation with someone? What do you do?
Do you want me to get out?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you finish RN, you're hoping that you'd end up in A&E or W or somewhere, or whatever way it works, and that didn't happen. So you were disappointed, I'm sure.
Yeah.
A little frustration, you know. But what do you do about it?
Well, I didn't really ask to go anywhere. What I did, every year we have our quizzes. I would put on it, like they would ask you, what would you like to do in the next 3 years?
Yes.
So I would put ICU / the dialysis.
That's where you wanted to go?
I want to do.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting through. It's like it was falling on deaf ears.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay. Then came up a program, midwifery.
No, you didn't. No, you're killing me tonight. You're killing me straight.
So I say, I look at it as a way to get out of psychiatry. So I said, I can do midwifery. And when I applied, I was accepted. I was accepted by the college. But Ministry of Health said that, Ministry of Health told me I'm needed in psychiatry.
You're joking.
Seriously.
So all that maneuvering you're doing, trying to get out of there, they don't want you to leave.
They want me down there.
Oh.
I'm needed down there.
Needed.
So, but I didn't really want it to do the midwifery. Like, it was like...
It was an escape.
Yeah. But it didn't, so I didn't do it. I stayed in psychiatry. Because I didn't want to, in order for me to do it, I would have to resign. Yeah. And do it.
Why?
And after I resign and do it, it still doesn't mean that I
That's
will.
where you're going to get to come.
Oh. It's a kind of backwardness, low-minded.
Of course. Yeah. That's sad. First of all, I don't understand why you would have had to resign. You're already into the nursing. You're already a nurse, a registered nurse.
Yeah, I would have to resign because of the fact that they tell me I'm needing psychiatry. So that means like I'm stuck there. So if I really want to do it, I don't know where I would be able to do it.
Oh, so you would have had to make that decision on your own to resign.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's still not fair.
And even after I do it, it doesn't mean that I will work. They might still put me on psychiatry. Or probably on a main one.
You best say liar,
Yeah.
So, midwifery out of
Out
it.
of it.
You're still there.
Still there.
Psychiatric units. I guess probably you were doing a good job.
I guess.
You know, so they didn't want you to leave. They would tell you leave. So what happened after that?
After that, after probably years of writing ICU slash
but yourself, why you didn't write something else instead of ICU? And maybe they didn't need anybody else in ICU and wherever else you wanted
that's
to
what my
go.
interest was. I didn't want to work nowhere else, huh? Like,
So you would have rather stay in psychiatric?
No, what you're saying is, what you asked me if
No. What I'm saying is that you kept putting ICU where you wanted to go in 3 years or
Right,
whatever years.
right.
You kept putting ICU and what else?
slash
dialysis. So there were no other departments you wanted to be
So
in?
now I was telling you, right, so I'm telling you,
You didn't want to be anywhere.
No.
So you rather stay in psychiatric unit until
yes,
an opportunity
yes.
opens.
Because I enjoy psychiatry,
Okay.
you know, that's where I started off. I mean, it was nice down there, you know, but I just wanted more.
You wanted more.
It kind of became monotonous.
Monotonous,
and boring,
yes.
the same thing, you know.
Yes. Did you try anything else again after that?
But
No, that was you stopped at midwifery.
different.
9:29 is the time in our studios. We're having a nice conversation here with Nurse Lloyd on the In the Spotlight radio show. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk some more. We want to know how it is that he eventually got out of psychiatric unit. And let's see if he actually got to ICU slash dialysis. Keep it locked. We're coming right back. Stay tuned with us.
In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight, featuring people from all walks of Dominican life, spotlighting their triumphs and tragedies, dreams, hopes, aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of our people in politics, religion, sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers, our public servants, youth, and the ordinary Dominican. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight will also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday nights from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight.
One-on-one with interesting personalities, educational and informative topics. topics and issues, intriguing and entertaining. A must listen to in the Spotlight, Monday nights from 8 p.m. on Q95.
Is the time in the studios. Who's Joel Lloyd?
Oh my brother.
Well, Joel Lloyd wants me to make you let go the lock before you leave. All right, Joel. We'll see if you'll do that for us before he leaves. All right. So, just a couple of things before we move on. In terms of the 5 nurses, male nurses who originally started with you, who went to nursing school with you, are they all still nurses? As far as you know?
Well, once you're a nurse...
No, are they still practicing? Are they still,
yeah. Unless the guy has moved on to psychology.
Psychology?
But he still does, he's like a nursing one.
Okay.
And the others, probably one that left. Only
Probably
one that left, I think. Yeah. Out of the 5? Mm-hmm. One that actually just not doing it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a sense of how many of you all are actually
right now
practicing now?
Not much. Huh?
At the hospital?
Probably about 5 or 6.
Really?
Yeah, about 5 or 6.
What do you think has happened?
Well, those that were retired, who migrated.
Okay.
And then I guess the young men not interested in nursing.
Why?
Probably because they don't know that there are male nurses. Because up to now, 2021, people still telling me that they never know Dominican nurses. They never know that it has male nurses.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't know it has male nurses, they might not want to even do it.
You don't think there's any stigma to it? Possibly?
Yeah, because, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing again, I notice men do more do medicine than do nursing.
Okay. Well, we do hope that. But would you encourage, though, based on your experience, I mean, even if you wanted to dock from psychiatric a few times, is it something you would encourage that?
Yes. I think men need to change the gender stereotype at least a bit.
And more men should take on nursing. You think so? Okay. Tell us now what happened and how you. I should tell you, and I mentioned briefly to you out there that when I shared the post about you on social media, I don't want to say I was taken aback or I was surprised. What I will say is that it was really good to see the amount of kind and positive comments that people were making about you, and how you were such a good nurse, and how you were such a kind nurse, and how you care for people. Did you develop those attributes over time, or is that something that is part of you, something that's embedded in you as an individual, separate and apart even from the scene?
I think it's embedded. I think it's natural.
It's natural.
I think I take it by my mother because I keep getting that, those sentiments, and I observe my mother. She was awarded, and the same thing. So I think I inherited from my mother that quality there.
Because I mean, very often, you hear people cry down nurses quite a bit, for being mean, for being serious, for not really being caring, for probably just working for a salary. We hear it. I've had 1 or 2 experiences myself, nothing major. I must say the times that I've been at the hospital, I've gotten relatively good treatment. I do remember the first time that I was sent, and I went and I said, my doctor sent me and gave me this paper on a Sunday. I came in with my bag and I walked in, And they almost looked at me strangely, like, you know, like, what are you doing here? We don't know anything about you, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, people have had not so very nice things to say in terms of the treatment. And I'm not saying it's everybody, and I'm not saying it's the majority, but, you know, sometimes you hear those kinds of feedback coming from nurses. So for you, why do you think it's that people are saying all of those things about you, one, and what is it you do that make people say those things about you?
What I do, I just being me. Nothing extra. I just doing what I have to do, and then I'll just get those compliments. Yeah.
But it could be the approach.
It could be.
It could be the approach you use. It could be the words you use. It could be just the way that you touch a patient, or you make a patient feel, you know, comfortable and that kind of thing. So I guess it comes down to all.
Yeah.
It comes down to all of that. But generally, I suspect you don't give a patient a hard face or.
Well, you know, so there are patients that will
test you.
test you. Yeah.
So you've gotten some of those tests.
Yeah, especially in a casualty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it?
Inhale,
You deal.
inhale, breathe.
You breathe.
Yeah, because they can get real bubbly aggressive. You know? They say a lot of things.
And you're human, eh?
Yeah.
The nurse is human
They
too,
say a
to
lot
be
of things
fair.
about nurses too, but they themselves, they play their part too, you know. Some patients. Yeah, in aggravating illness.
But you don't allow that to
I try not.
get the better of
I
you.
try not.
You try not
I try my best not to. Because I'm human.
You're human.
Yeah, I sure it have somebody out there probably had a bad experience with me. With all, yeah, I'm not perfect. Eh?
No. But I mean, the majority of the, not the majority, everyone who commented, and if persons go to my page now and they see it, they will see everybody was singing from the same choir. Basically. So you must be, I mean, you're human. There must be, we all have our bad days. I have my bad days. There'll be a day somebody will call me and they'll probably get the worst of me. And not intentionally, but just because, you know, I'm probably having a bad day and I'm just not able to control it. So, how did we get out of psychiatry?
Okay. Right. So finally, I think ICU was short staff. And then I was transferred to ICU. And then a month after being transferred to ICU, I was sent to China to do a small course in ICU training also.
You went to China?
Yeah, a month after I entered ICU.
Somebody just been a little troublesome saying, "Oh, show your face." So I just switched the camera there for a brief
Show my
moment.
face?
No, me, they
Oh,
said to show my face. With my two combos. But yes, you were saying that you went to China.
Yeah,
You went to China to do what?
ICU training
Ah.
for 6 weeks.
So wait, you're not in ICU. You've not moved to ICU. Were you still in psychiatric at the time?
No,
When you got that training?
no. When I
Okay, I probably missed for a
Yeah.
minute. Let's go back. Rewind.
you asked me
When did you get out of psychiatric
Psychiatric,
unit?
right.
Yes.
and then I was just saying, sometime down the line, ICU became short staff. They wanted somebody for ICU. So when they go back in the files, they realize I have an interest for ICU.
So if somebody was just saying they wonder how often do they even pay attention to what the people write,
Right.
saying in terms of the interest, the 3-year interest.
But I guess when they got short staff, they went to search, they went to see, before they asked anybody, they went to see who's interested in that area. So I guess they saw Lloyd was interested, so so Lloyd was transferred to ICU. And I was just saying, after a month being in ICU, I was sent to China.
For 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Yeah. That was
So things were falling in place. You were getting to where you wanted to be. So what was the China experience like?
Wow. an amazing experience.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was out of this world.
Mhm.
Yeah, when I China, you have to wonder where Dominica was when China was developing. Yeah, China is advanced, man. China is far. China is far.
So the training centered around ICU,
yeah, ICU
caring for patients.
Yeah, ICU techniques.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you enjoyed that.
I enjoy that.
Yes.
I enjoy that.
So when you came back,
Straight back to ICU. Yeah.
Yes.
I stayed there around 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So you were happy.
Happy.
No reasons to want to leave.
When I had to leave, they took me out. I mean, and they got some Cubans,
Mm.
and I guess other areas of the hospital were short staff.
Okay.
So filling the gap with ICU, because it's ICU, I'm trained Cubans.
Mm-hmm. But you're training to, even if it was 6
I
weeks.
know.
Mm.
But I guess they gave me my other option, dialysis.
Okay.
So I was trying to
Okay.
go to dialysis. Spent another 2 years dialysis. And then I transferred back to casualty. So I'm in casualty right now.
You're in casualty right now.
But before ICU, I think before ICU I was casualty.
Yes, because you didn't mention casualty for us before.
Yeah. So
Okay.
before ICU. From APU,
Mm-hmm.
casualty,
Casualty.
and then ICU.
And-
So it's like from the I entered casualty,
Mm-hmm.
I never went back.
You
Psychiatry.
never went back to say, and you did not miss it.
I didn't say it.
No, we're just having our conversation. So A&E it is right now.
Yeah.
And what is A&E must be quite an interesting place to be
Mhm.
in terms of what comes through the doors
You never know. my
of
friends.
A&E.
You never know what's coming
Mhm.
through that door.
Yes.
Unpredictable.
Accidents.
I like it though.
You like
I
you
love
like.
it. I love it. You don't know what's coming, and yeah, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Mentally, seeing all of what comes through A&E, the accident where someone loses a leg, a limb, something goes in someone's eye,
Intestinal side.
yes, all of those kinds of things. You say that so easily, intestinal side. How familiar, how comfortable have you become with all of that?
Very comfortable.
Because you wouldn't see that at APU, right?
Right,
At
right.
psychiatric clinic. You didn't deal with that
Nothing
kind
like
of
that.
thing.
Nothing like that.
If a patient had something, would you have to send them to the
Emergency.
emergency department? So you don't deal with that down there.
Only if you really want to.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
like you have just a small laceration, you
Mhm.
could suture it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to send to casualty,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. If you
Okay.
want.
Okay. But the action is in A
Yeah.
and E.
Yeah. That's where all the action is.
Yes.
Well, that's where all the action starts.
Yes, that's where all the action starts. You would prefer there's no action at all.
Okay.
Because you would prefer if nobody gets into an accident, nobody gets sick, nobody, you prefer that. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, it has to happen and you have to be there to be able to deal with it.
True.
I was asking, how comfortable have you become with
Right now,
bowels outside and all of that?
right now I can say very comfortable.
Mhm.
No issue.
Did you have any initial concerns dealing with that? No, nothing to the stomach, no, nothing to the mind, nothing.
No. I guess when the training prepares you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I started training as a mental health nurse, you started seeing those things from the training.
Okay, sorry. I was actually just reading one of the comments there. So if you were to make a choice now, so they come and lay this on the table for you, and say, "Miss Lloyd, we want to put you somewhere permanently."
Wow, I know you're going to say that.
Right? Well, we know I won't answer for you. Psychiatric unit, A&E, dialysis, ICU. One more. You haven't worked in that one, or have you? Maternity, children's.
Children ward, yes.
You've worked in children's
Children
ward.
ward, yeah.
Okay.
Maternity was on training.
Maternity was on training.
After training, I never.
You never went back.
Yeah.
Is it an area that you're just not interested in at all?
No, it's just that I guess probably that's what I'm saying. Probably it's because of the few men that they usually put the men in the psychiatric unit
Okay.
or on the men ward.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm just saying,
It could be.
yeah,
Yes.
because if there are 100 men,
Mm-hmm.
they would fill in the gap on maternity, I would think.
But would you like to experience maternity for a little while?
Yeah, because you might have interest in doing the course. So.
Yes, midwifery. No, you wanted to escape. But yes, if you were given all of these options, which one would you?
It would be between.
I don't want between. Okay, go ahead, between.
Okay, I see.
I see.
I see.
But doesn't ICU demand a lot more in terms of always having to change your clothing and all of that? No. No.
Because we don't go outside. You went.
Oh well, yes. You stay in there. You have to stay in there.
12-hour shift, yeah.
You cannot move to go anywhere
When
else.
you move in, you put on your gown on you,
Okay.
but you don't have to. No reason to go outside.
No reason to go outside.
Anything you want to do outside, what they don't do.
But Ms. Lloyd, the ICU is the area where when people are really
Intensive.
yes. And
machine and so.
yes, and in terms, in essence, people who are in the worst shape, who probably even on the verge of going up to the other side.
I see you.
Yes, you know,
I
that
see
kind
later.
of thing. Yes, exactly. You know, seeing the death, seeing the major illnesses, seeing the sickness, seeing the, you know, the family coming and being heartbroken and being sad and all of that, you know.
Yeah.
How does that affect you?
I think I'm immune now.
You're immune.
Yeah. Day before, probably cry too with them, but I think I passed that stage. Yeah.
You used to cry with them too.
No, I see probably all the water would come out. You know, you feel
Yeah,
sorry.
you're human. You're human.
But no, I guess I just understand. It's like I would say, accustomed.
Okay. What is the easiest part of being a nurse for you? The easiest part. What are you most comfortable with?
Easiest part. I guess listening to the patients, complain.
They complain to you,
Yeah, complain of what's
bothering them.
Yeah.
That for you.
So again, that's easy. Is a listening ear. That should be easy.
And as you speak about listening ear, do you sometimes have to listen to their stories?
Yeah.
You have to stay there and.
Especially that was more often in the psychiatric unit. That was what it is.
So you've heard many
Lots of
stories.
Lot of stories.
Enough to probably write a book.
Yep. A lot of stories. A lot of situations.
Real situations.
Yeah. Situations you don't even hear about. Yeah.
And you know, in terms of, as you speak about the stories, the stigma as well of persons who come, once you come to psychiatric unit, you're crazy, you cuckoo, you've gone bonkers, you know, and society looks at you differently. And for me, I mean, we're all human. I could be sitting here with you tonight, and tomorrow something just messes with my head.
I feel like.
And I can end up at psychiatric unit. It may not necessarily mean that I'm crazy. It probably just means I need some help. I need some help in managing whatever it is that's stressing me out, or, you know. So it's unfortunate that that is the way it is. But I really wish society would think differently. What would you say to those of us maybe who are thinking that, you know, once you come, you work there for several years, and I'm sure you've seen all kinds, you know, people you saw normal probably the day before, people you know to be very normal, but they end up there.
And some women after pregnancy, they normal all their life, and then with one baby, they end up psychiatric.
Oh, they call that postpartum depression or something like that?
Yeah.
Yes, and they end up there. That doesn't make you a crazy person. Doesn't mean society needs to look down on you. In terms of your experience there, Ms. Lloyd, what would you say to people who think that once you get there, you're crazy?
Well, I'll tell them think differently. Because mental illness really is just the inability to cope with life situations. So it could happen to you. You know? And well, back to the stigma, what I noticed to do, it was worse before though. Yeah, I think the people getting more educated on what mental illness is. Yeah. And some cases reaching home too, so that's why some cases. We're getting there slowly.
We're getting there slowly. And as you said, you know, I think there's more education, there's more information out there as it pertains to mental illness. So I asked you about your easiest day. What is the hardest thing for you being a nurse?
Hardest. Well, what I mentioned to you, like immune. But losing a patient you're taking care of can be hard. Yeah. Especially you get attached to the person and they just go on. Well, that has happened. You get attached to a patient, you get to know a patient on the word, you know, or you're communicating nice, and then the person died. That is hard. Also, what I can say is hard, when the public verbally abusing nurses, that can be hard, like this patient said, you know, because you can retaliate back to them, you can give verbal aggression to you. So that is hard, and then what else?
What do you find to be most rewarding?
To see a patient come in very, very sick, and then they leave home well.
They live well.
Yeah, that is nice. That is rewarding. That is
Especially
you play a role.
Especially if they come through ICU.
So as for that, yeah, because a lot of them die and a few
make it
make
out.
it out. So that is rewarding to see them make it out.
In terms of your shifts, so you all do shift systems, long hours.
12 hours.
How the 12 hours every time?
Well, it didn't start off as 12 hours, but now we're doing 12 hours.
What was it?
8 to 3 and 1 to 8.
Okay, that sounds more reasonable to me than 12 hours straight.
And then the night shift was always 12
It
hours.
was always 12 hours.
But again, we're facing staff difficulties. I guess that's one of the ways of dealing with it. But it's long. 12 hours is very long.
12 hours, that sounds long to me.
My trip from England to China was 12 hours.
Yes.
It's long.
And you spoke about, you know, it affecting your agriculture, your interest in doing your bees. How else does the shift system, those long 12 hours, because you have to get rest. You have to rest as well, because you then going back on a 12-hour shift, which is very long. I suspect you may have to pack your dinner, pack whatever you need in a bag to take with you, make sure that you properly, you know. How does that affect normal life?
Well, you try to make it work out, it's time management, you know, and try to make it work out. But it's all good though. Keeps me moving, keeps me alert, keeps me.
So you've been, in other words, what you're saying is that you've been able to manage.
Yes.
You've been able to manage working your. So, for example, you work a night shift from what time does it start?
8 to 8.
8 to 8, right? You have a little business to do in the city. You go and you do that business. How much rest do you get to go again for another 12 hours?
You can get it.
You have to make it work.
work.
Because the type of job you do, you need to be alert. You cannot make a mistake and give me the wrong medication, you know.
Sure.
You have to. That's why it always amazes me about this 12-hour shift.
Yeah, it's long.
It's long, but you make it work.
Yeah. But not so long it started though. What are your plus? We're doing it.
Okay.
It's like there was a try.
Was it difficult at the beginning?
Yes, because we were not used to it. Yeah. It's very long.
How do the female nurses interact with you, the male nurses?
Interaction is well. Interaction good.
The interaction is good.
Yeah.
So nothing about, oh, you're a man.
Oh, no. You more get that from a patient.
More from a
Not
patient.
from stuff.
Have you had a patient say, I don't want a male nurse to attend to me? Have you experienced that?
On training, I experienced that a few times when I was training. Something like little boy.
Oh my goodness.
Some grown up female women, You cannot see a young boy like me
attending to them.
You have that one.
Mm-hmm.
But not much though. You hardly find that though, those days.
So, it's 3 minutes to 10.
Seriously.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my. Okay. We have to start wrapping things up here. I don't know if I missed any questions that anybody had in the chat. It's of course difficult for me to sometimes see what's going on in the chat. So let me just check my phone before we get ready to wrap things up in terms of any questions. This guy is a fantastic nurse, very good with children. My daughter was very calm after he dealt with a very good guy. God bless him. Oh, that's just a comment there from someone you dealt with their daughter. The comments are there, but I'm sorry, I really cannot go through. I cannot go through them. Again, the good feedback on you, it continues even in the chat there on the thing. Would you have done it differently at this point? Do you have changed your mind? What would you have done differently?
I feel I was born to do that.
You think you were born to do that?
And it's just that it took me a little. It just like take me a little time to discover it. Because growing up, to tell you the truth, I never knew what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I never knew what I wanted to do. I did accounts in school, business in school. Because I chose an option in everything else. Because of staying in my grandmother's shop, doing hospitality for her, I figure business would be the closest thing. So I got into business. But now I realize nursing, because right now, to me I don't feel, to me I see nothing else I would be doing.
Is that so?
Yeah. To me it's just nursing.
You've grown to love it.
Yeah.
Naturally.
To me anything else would be second to nursing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably if you moved on to doctor.
Yeah.
Probably, right? I think
but probably if it was a goal of mine, I would have done it already.
I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah.
But you still have your agriculture degree.
Yeah.
When you studied a little of environmental health, you have your business sense.
Yeah.
So if one of those days you decide, well, I really don't want to.
I did look a business over the years. I tried boss. I tried shop. I tried yeah, I was for 4 years.
You drove it yourself? Or
I
you had somebody?
started off driving the first year, then the same time constraint. I tried giving it to someone to drive.
Where you was driving it from?
When I started, I was in Portsmouth.
Portsmouth. So you lived, was it that you lived in Portsmouth?
No.
And you had to drive it?
I would just go, Portsmouth is home.
Okay.
So I would go down in the morning, stay the whole day. Yeah, I used to pick at Portsmouth, and then in the afternoon, I would just drive down, come home.
Okay, alright. But, and then you gave it to somebody, and that didn't work out?
I tried over 10 people. Yeah, the bus business, besides it's being, a lot of buses on the road, it's difficult. But people, men in themselves,
dishonest.
Yeah,
I know about that. My father had buses too, so I know about that. I know how that works.
They would come to you and give you this nice wording, what they would do, how much they bring for you. But
okay.
story.
Alright, so we have to wrap up. I know he was concerned about the 2 hours, but here we are. I wish I could read some of the comments there, but so many of them there that I cannot get through to them. But Ms. Lloyd, again, so many good things are being said about you. Oh gosh, somebody said I want to know. Let me see if I can see quickly before. Excellent interview from both interview. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sarah. All right, I'm trying to get to. There's probably not much I can do where the questions are concerned because it's too many to go through. Sabina, good evening to you, my dear. Good evening to every one of you all on the live. Always so nice to see you all. Much success and continued courage to Ms. Lloyd. Okay, just some kind words there for you that you'll have some time to go back to it. So let us wrap up with some final comments. What would you like to leave with us tonight? On the program, you've already said that you feel that you were born to do this. after all, at this stage. Where do you go from here? Just continue doing what you're doing?
Yeah, continue doing what I'm doing, and then
My brother, and I never hear him talk so much.
yeah. Which one of them?
Joel. Well, to be fair, Joel, he did say to me that when Mignon passed him as the name, he did say to me, I have never done this before. We did the promo video. He says, I've never done this before. He was even saying probably I should have given me somebody else. But I'm happy you came. I'm happy you came, and I'm happy that you shared with us, and you gave us a good understanding of what it is to be a male nurse. It's the first person I've had in that regard on the program as well, so it's a first for me. So I learned a lot from you as well, and I know that the viewers and the listeners did as well. So know that you seem to be loved, appreciated, and you need to stick around and continue caring for your patients and doing what you're doing, because whatever it is that you're doing right. We understand that you are human, and there may be times that, you know, somebody may really cross the line and cause you to show them a little bad face. But I suspect that is in the minimum. But the majority seems to be that you are a good nurse and a nurse that people really love. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to give us your final comments.
Okay, final comments. Well, I would just like to encourage the men gender, the male gender, that they could try out the nursing career. It's a career, it's a solid career, you know, you get a salary at the end of the month, you know, and then we could change the gender stereotype. It's not just a female profession, you know? It's a male profession, a female profession. The demand is required from both men and female. There's no difference, you know, the same case even by both gender. So, young guys out there, try out the nursing career. Yeah. Try it out. You might just love it like how I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you grew to love it.
Yeah.
It started off as a job. Wanting a job, because there was nothing else.
Right.
Rejection after rejection in terms of job letters. They putting you on file, and you wanted to work. And you didn't want to just go sit at home. So you heard this, and you decided you're going to try it out. And how many years later are we?
In total, 19 years.
19 years, so almost 20.
Almost 20.
Almost 20 years as a nurse, and loving it even more now at this point.
True.
Well, I want to wish you well, and continue being you, continue doing what you do, and I hope that based on your call tonight, that, you know, some men may consider a career in nursing in the future, and bring a little bit more balance.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Nurse Lloyd.
Thank you for having me for the diner.
It was my absolute pleasure. Nurse Collins Lloyd on the In the Spotlight radio show tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll be having another Lloyd on the program.
Dave Lloyd,
no. Dave is a fan. Dave is a huge fan. Thank you so much, Dave, for your support. Another Lloyd, I'm not sure if it's Monday coming or the following Monday, but another Lloyd is going to be there, and it should be another good one. That's a wrap on the In the Spotlight radio show for tonight. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me on my various platforms, social media platforms. Don't forget, if you would like to make a contribution to the show, you can do so via Cash App, Spotlighters. So check us out, you know, just give us a little support. We'd appreciate it. And continue listening. We'll be here next week, Monday, for another In the Spotlight radio show. Until then, do have a wonderful night. Until we meet again next week, Monday, God willing.